If you would ask me a year ago if I was going to be sitting here with you right now, I'm doing this, and I'd be like in literally my socks, no shoes. Comfort zone. Like, I would have never believed you. I would have been like, no, that's never going to happen in a million years.
You know what? You guys had over 100 trucks at one point.
Almost 100.
Almost 100.
Yeah. For 3 consecutive years.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is 3 consecutive years.
And we started off with 1 truck. In 2012, we started off with 1 truck.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. We started off with...
So you're not rich with some money?
No. Unfortunately, no. I don't have daddy's money. I'm sorry. No.
Oh, what's going on with the truckers? So this is a very appreciated interview. It's not easy when you talked about your company, something that's very personal, and when things happen and they get out there. And so it's one of those things where, I did do a video where drivers were emailing me stating, that potentially there could be some issues. Some drivers were nervous. And so I made a video. Mother truckers, according to what is at public records right now through the Pacer, it shows that Angies Transportation LLC has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Now, a Chapter 11 bankruptcy is not a Chapter 7 where they're shutting down. They are reorganizing. So I think this is a strong lady. I don't think that she's going to just lay down and die. I think she'll do everything possible to save her company. But I'm just letting you know, if you're thinking about working here, look up these public records and see what's going on. This is my friend Dean, and also the president and CEO of Truckers Paradise out here in Gainesville, Texas. Now, this is something cool, and you guys know I'm not always a part of everything, but this man right here got his outlet center and got all this parking and is doing it free for you guys. And you're gonna have your grand opening June 28th through the 30th, and I'm gonna come out just to support, Can you tell people a little bit about what this dream is and why you're so crazy to do it?
Well, truckers, they get treated so much like second-class citizens.
Yeah.
And we've got to do something to change the narrative on that.
I love that.
So it's like we're gonna treat them like royalty. I only hire people that are going to smile at them.
Yeah.
And greet them, make them feel like they're at home.
Yeah.
Even make this their home base. So if they don't have if they're on the road all the time, they don't have a home. This is their home.
And so overall, I'll be over there. What exit is it?
501 North on Interstate 35. If you've gone to WinStar Casino, you've gone too far. Hey, I know you might want to go to the casino too, but turn around and come back 5 miles.
And we actually saw each other at the Texas Trucking Show. Actually, it was Mid-America Truck Show.
It was at Matt's.
Yeah, it was at Matt's.
In Louisville, Kentucky.
Yep. And then you came down to Texas Trucking Show with your brother.
Yes.
And we have a video at the end of this, talking about some really cool technology.
Yes.
That's going to help some drivers. And so, we came up with, hey, why don't we just talk about the whole thing?
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, hi guys, my name is Angie, and I am the owner of Angies Transportation in St. Louis, Missouri. We started the company back in 2012. So we've been in business for almost 15 years, and we are primarily a refrigerated trucking company. We're about 80-90% reefer and about 10-20% dry van. And then 3 years ago, we started Roadlights, which is a safety lighting company for commercial vehicles. And that's my shirt that I'm wearing today.
There you go.
So yes, sorry about that, but yeah. So right now we're doing Angie's and also our new passion project, Roadlights.
Job title. What job title? You and your brother together, but as CEO, is that what we got going on?
I really don't like.
You don't like that?
I don't like titles, no,
Right.
because I don't know. I like to stay humble and like today I'm CEO, but tomorrow I'm janitor. Today at the conference I was barista. So
right.
I don't know. I'm everything in trucking.
Right.
We all wear many hats. I guess, but the main purpose and the main thing is I love safety. That is my passion. Ultimately, my passion is safety. I am a certified safety director. I've been doing, when we were a smaller trucking company, I was the safety director for us until we hired a safety director, Nicole. But that ultimately is my passion, is safety, and I think that's what led to Roadlights as well. But yeah, no titles.
It's one of those things where it's like you have to be humble, where one day you have to wear one hat versus the other.
And it's not glamorous. And yeah, you're absolutely right. That's how we got into it. My dad was a truck driver. I grew up with my dad on the road. I would go with my dad on the road. My dad had a long-nosed Pete. He started at Swift as a company driver, owner-operator, and then he started his own company. And like I said, I grew up with him on the road, and that's how we got into the business and learned everything. And this is Angie's. That was my first baby, and now Roadlights is my second one.
Yeah. So, for all the drivers and listeners and all your drivers, because how many drivers do you guys have now?
So we have downsized. We were at almost, at our peak, we were almost at around 100 trucks. And we recently, this past year, we downsized to right now, we're at about 50.
Okay.
And I think that's our sweet spot too. I'm like, this is our sweet spot, and I'm happy to be there as we also focus on Roadlights. So I'm comfortable where we are. This is, we can make sure we're giving our drivers all the attention that they need, because also when you get bigger, as you grow and you go through those growing pains, it's hard to take care of every driver. It's hard to stay on top of it. Things can get out of hand really fast, and things can happen, a lot of miscommunication, and then you can't service your drivers as good as you can, and your customers are your customers, but your drivers are also your customers, and you have to try to make them happy. And I think that's, one of the things that also happened with us was we grew, and, your drivers who are your customers, now you're having a hard time servicing them and keeping all of them happy as well.
What are we telling them?
We're not going anywhere, baby.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, trucking is my life. I just can't picture myself doing anything else, and we're not going anywhere. I have no plans on leaving this industry, and I'm not giving up on my drivers. I'm not giving up on my customers. It's just not happening. And then the more conferences I go to today, I was really bittersweet when I was looking around, and I was like, man, I'm so proud of the industry I'm in. I'm like, this is the backbone of America. This is not glamorous by any means, but I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, I love this. This is the backbone of America. These people, everyone in this industry is a hard worker. And people, I think in this day and age, forget, they get a little bit, people want to work less, and people get kind of entitled and all this and that. But I'm like, I look around the room and I'm like, these are some of the hardest working people I've ever met in my life, and just this industry, and this is what's keeping America moving. And I have so much pride, and that keeps me motivated and going. And that's literally what keeps me motivated and going, is looking around the room, seeing these people, and knowing like, we got to keep going. Like, we cannot give up. We can't stop. We got to do this.
And so now you're finally, you're getting out of the weeds. You're getting, you got out of your bankruptcy chapter 11, which means that you're just moving things around, by the way, for people that don't know what that means.
You're restructuring. I mean, all the biggest companies in the country, they'll file a chapter 11, a lot of big companies do, even companies that they might be one of the most financially stable company. And I've talked to people, they're like, okay, we're super financially stable, but they're like, every chance we get, we do an 11, because like, we want to restructure, we want to refinance, we want to just get like a clean slate and take a pause on everything, take a greater look and a picture. So it's not always negative too. It just means you're taking a pause and you're restructuring. And if you can't do that, then it ends up being a 7, where you do have to wind down and you do have to close your company, and ultimately you hope that doesn't happen. Right.
I hear you. No, thank you for that.
Absolutely.
And so, okay, for people that are going through this, because, let's be honest, it's really hard to talk about this for anyone's company. And so she's brave enough to talk about this, so that if you're a small fleet as well, you could kind of learn. It sucks to kind of learn through someone else, but it's like there's not a video out there like this.
I agree.
So do's and don'ts, right? We talked a little bit about, you had 100 trucks.
Yeah. I don't want anyone to have to go through what I did either, because I had to learn too. I had no idea before we filed for bankruptcy for Chapter 11. I had no idea what that meant. Right. I never imagined I would go through something like that at this age of my life. And at this stage in my life, I never thought I would go through that. I didn't know what that was.
Right.
I was like, what is this? This was like new words, new this and that. So I had to research, and I'm calling lawyers, I'm talking to people, and I had to research and figure out everything the hard way. And I had no one to give me the answers.
Right.
And it was super scary. Like I think I was in denial too.
I can imagine though. Yeah. That's like anybody though, right?
Yeah, you're in denial. You're like, what do I do? Like what we're trying to do everything we can. We're trying to internally restructure.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is like the last resort. And we were so in denial. I was really in denial, because that scared me. That big B word, oh my goodness, it scared me.
Right.
But after we did the research, speaking to people, and we made that decision, and it was still, the whole thing was a learning process. And I just want, when I'm speaking to everyone, I just want people to be educated, and to know their options, and to, try not to make some of the mistakes we did, or, just do the best informed decision you can. And that's it, really.
No, I love that. So do we start with the do's first, or you want to start with the don'ts?
Oh, that's a hard one. We can maybe start with the don'ts. I feel like maybe something like, let's start with maybe the bad, and then we can go to the good.
Yeah.
Definitely don't be afraid to negotiate everything. Everything is always negotiable. So I think don't be afraid to negotiate rates. If you're with a factoring company, or you have a line of credit, do not be afraid to negotiate that and negotiate it down, because everything is negotiable.
Yeah.
And also, don't be afraid to talk to your bank. So if you have equipment loans, don't be afraid to talk to your bank and tell them, hey, we're having some, cash flow problems or some issues, and we need to look at deferring payments, or we need to look at restructuring the loan.
Yeah.
We got to look at our options here. Don't be afraid to do that. It's confrontational as hell. It's not fun to have that conversation with your banker at all. Like, it's awful, but you have to. And so don't be afraid to do that, because there's options. Like, just because you have an equipment loan, maybe it's 60 months at this interest rate, this monthly payment, and you think like you're stuck in that. It doesn't have to be that way. As long as you have your financials ready, you can talk to your banker and you can say, this is what we're going through. What are our options? Can we figure something out? So don't be afraid to do that. Don't be over leveraged. That's the next one. Don't be over leveraged. If you are a growing trucking company and you're taking on equipment loans, shop around, see if your state offers any kind of support for equipment loans. In the state of Missouri, we have a Missouri state program for that, actually.
Nice.
And I learned that, and that was amazing. But just, you can find out through your state if there's something. So don't be afraid to shop around as well, to different banks for equipment loans, to try to get your best interest rate on that. And don't be over leveraged as you're growing as well. So definitely have to be careful and you really have to look at your financials and know, what your liabilities are, all of that, like how much you have in debt. You got to look at that too.
You know what? You guys had over 100 trucks at one point?
Almost 100.
Almost 100.
Yeah. For 3 consecutive years.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is 3 consecutive years.
And we started off with one truck. In 2012, we started off with one truck.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. We started off with...
So you're not rich with some money?
No. Unfortunately, no. I don't have
Yeah.
daddy's money. I'm sorry. No. We got no handouts, no freebies. My parents immigrated here from Poland.
Okay.
Had no help, none of that. So unfortunately,
we're learning.
No. I wish that would be great.
Hey,
Maybe I'd go into a different industry that was maybe a little bit more glamorous.
Yeah.
But no, this is where we're at. Don't let safety slide either. Just because, if you're not profitable, all of a sudden you're gonna try to have your drivers run harder. So don't do that. Definitely do not do that. And don't let safety slide, because you're going to have a whole nother costly problem. So you cannot do that. Safety is still number one. Don't let that go, because next thing you know, you're going to have, then your insurance is going to skyrocket. You're going to have a DOT compliance review. You're going to have the DOT knocking at your door, and then you're going to open that can of worms, and then you're going to get fined, and you can, your safety score can drop. So that's a big one too, is like, just because that's happening, don't let safety slide either. That's tied to your profit. That's tied to your revenue. Do not let that happen, no matter what. I think, don't avoid the signs, and definitely don't be in denial. Don't avoid the signs when you see that, hey, something's maybe not right. Don't avoid that, and stay on top of your financials and really knowing your bottom line. So don't avoid that. Yeah, don't get over leveraged. I guess also don't let your pride get in the way. I think
That's a tough one, right?
That's such a tough one.
It's a tough one for anybody.
It is, especially when you have your business and you grow it, and that's your baby from day one. you let your pride get in the way a little bit. You're like, man, I built this from scratch. I made something. I worked so hard for it, and I wanted to have this reputation, and I strived so hard. I made these sacrifices. You don't let your pride get in the way with that either. That's a big one, Yeah, it's your baby. It's like, I like to believe that if you start a business, you want to do good business. Things happen. We're in trucking. We don't sell ice cream. I can't make everyone happy. I wish I could, but that's not trucking. Everyone knows this industry is so competitive and it's cutthroat and it's not glamorous, but yeah.
As soon as you find out that you want to restructure, or you're brave enough to restructure, because some people I don't want to use the word give up, but they just go shut the doors and they're done, right?
Yeah.
But just say, you're saying, you know what? We're going to fight this. We're going to do it. What's the first thing you do? Do you call your mom? Do you call your lawyer? What do you do?
Everything. Call your mom, your lawyer, your priest, your CPA. Call your best friend. Definitely, talk to someone, and talk to like a family member for sure. Talk to someone that you're close with and be like, hey, get a second opinion, and just look at everything. You need to look at your whole business, and don't be... That's a don't, but no, I guess one of the don'ts was, don't be afraid to do like other loads and different freight. Don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid to switch up your lanes. Don't be afraid to go for, other like customers, all of that. I think I guess that's another don't, but don't try not to be fully dependent on load boards as well. So do try to get more customer base. Do try to switch up your lanes. Do try to get creative with everything. Do look at your bottom line. Look at all of your expenses, like everything you're paying for, and be like, hey, do I really need this fancy trucking software? Do I really need this? Do I really need all these things? Right. Go through each item on your profit and loss. Go through each expense and ask yourself, do I really need this? And then things that you don't need, get rid of it. You don't need it. There's other e-log companies out there. There's other trucking softwares out there. There's other factoring companies out there. So you can go through that and figure it out really fast. And even if you're like, man, but this makes my life easier, then you got to figure out, like, is it really worth it or not? If it is, keep it. If not, get rid of it, switch it out. Don't be afraid to do that. Just do it. We had those moments too where I was like, man, our trucking company, we're really spoiled on certain software, different modules, this and that, and we were spending an arm and a leg on all these things, and I'm like, man, I don't want to get rid of this because this made our lives easier. But then we were like, we need to. We got rid of it, we cut it out, and we're fine. You're fine. You just kind of get used to it and get spoiled to certain technology that maybe makes your life easier. Also, do keep maybe your truck longer. If you are, certain companies are cycling out their trucks at a faster rate, do keep it longer. Right now, the cost of parts and maintenance and labor has gone up. Do keep it maybe a little bit extra longer. Yeah. Do get the extended warranty on your truck. Absolutely do that. Keep that. Do the preventative maintenance. Maybe do more, do your annual inspection, not annually, but twice a year. Do that, and just to make sure you're getting everything out of the way that you have to. This trucking, it's like dog years, man. And the crazy part is, no one taught us anything. We had to learn everything the hard way, and it was all grind. And it wasn't until recently, like I think probably the past 5-6 years, is when I told my brother, he's a little bit more shy, and he wasn't attending conferences and conventions and really, reaching out to people and networking. And then I told him a couple years back, I said, Ralph, I think we need to start going to these conferences and conventions, and we need to network more, and we got to talk to people. So that's a big one. Talk to people, network, definitely do that. Figure out what they're doing, and you're going to find commonalities, and there's going to be trends. And then maybe something that works for someone, it may not work for you, or something that doesn't work for you may work for them. So share all of that with each other. Don't be afraid to share that. And learn from everyone. Definitely do network, do talk to people, do go to conferences and conventions, do all of that, because we're all in it together, and we really all help each other. That's the beautiful thing. And that's what I think helped us grow as a company. Was I started going to the conferences, conventions, talking to people, and you learn the trends, you learn what everyone's doing, and you're like, okay, you take that knowledge back. And I mean, that you cannot put a price on that knowledge that you learn. So if you're questioning, hey, should I go to this conference or this trade show? I don't really want to spend the money on this. It's kind of expensive. No, it's so worth it, so valuable. Go do that. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to meet people. You're going to network. You're going to share all this info, and you're going to take that back and do with it what you can.
What would you like to leave people with? Because like
I know. I'm sorry. I could talk about this for hours. I'm like, I love talking trucking.
No. It's good. I
could talk for hours. But okay, sorry. What the question that you asked me? I know. I'm like, wait, we strayed a little bit.
Yeah.
But so you asked when you should get your next truck.
Right.
I think you should get your next truck when you feel that you're ready, and ask yourself, hey, like, are you handy? A lot of owner-operators are handy with their truck. So are you handy with the truck? Are you ready for that maintenance? Do I believe in purchasing new trucks? I do, yes. And if you do, you need to get extended warranty. That really helped us a lot in situations. And building a relationship with your dealer. If you're going to go that route, build a relationship with your dealer. Shop around for loans. I mean, approach every bank. I joke around all the time. I say, man, I'm like a serial dater when it came to equipment financing. I was like, I was meeting, like you're talking to all these banks and you're just trying to figure out who has the best interest rate. You're sending over your financials. Like, definitely shop around, like serial date, figure out, it's like speed dating. You're trying to figure out, that, do that. And are you handy? If you're handy with a truck, yeah, buy a used truck, especially right now with the cost of parts and maintenance. If you're good, handy with a truck, you have a mechanic, do that. That's fine. If that works for you, that's great. There's people, I know trucking companies, they don't buy brand new trucks. They buy trucks that have 150 to 200,000 miles on them, because right now the rate that trucks are depreciating, it's like, really?
It's crazy.
It's crazy. This is like, it rolls off the lot. It's like a car. It rolls off the lot and it depreciates so fast. And now the cost of parts and maintenance is so expensive that everyone's holding on to trucks a little bit longer. And so it just comes down to you. Like, do you have a mechanic? Are you handy? Do you have a relationship with your dealer? Like, ask yourself those questions, and then you're going to know what you should do, and you'll figure it out. If you would have asked me a year ago if I was going to be sitting here with you right now doing this, and I'd be like in literally my socks, no shoes. Comfort zone. Like, I would have never believed you. I would have been like, no, that's never going to happen in a million years. But life is crazy. Life is weird. Things change. Things happen. You just have to adapt and go with the flow. Be ready to adapt. Be ready to be creative thinking, and just go with it and figure it out.
Any shout outs at the end? Shout outs to anybody out there, and
just everyone. I mean, just shout out to
your drivers,
my team. Yeah, our office. Shout out to every carrier in St. Louis. You guys are great. We're working hard, doing everything we can. Shout out to our drivers. Shout out to my vendors too for sticking by my side through all of this, and for just my friends and family, everyone just who believes in us, our vendors, our customers, stuck by our side, that when times got messy and chaotic and we're like, hey, this is going to be a little bit of a mess, I don't know what's going to happen, for sticking by our side. Shout out to you guys. Absolutely. Like, it takes a team of people, and I'm very thankful and grateful.
We could never get your brother on this, and we did it today. Please introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Angie, and I'm with Roadlights. I'm also with Angies Transportation, and
hi, my name is Raphael. I'm also with Angies Transportation and Roadlights.
So we started Roadlights 3 years ago, and we are a commercial safety lighting company. We sell commercial safety lights for trailers. They're called contour marker lights that go on the back of a trailer, and they're used to help drivers. Whenever a driver is reversing and they look in their mirrors, they can see their width of their trailer, so that they're, when they're backing into a dock door or a parking spot, they're not going to hit anyone. It's just there to help a driver make their lives easier and safer for everyone, and to hopefully prevent those, $20,000, $30,000 accidents and damages that's happening. Just like our trucking company that we have, our accidents, the majority of them that happen, it's not the big crashes that everyone sees on the highways. It's those little incidences that add up. That is at a truck stop where a driver, another truck is backing up in the parking spot and they hit our truck, and next thing you know, we've got $20,000, $30,000 in damages. And that's what that's for. It's to help drivers see their width of their trailer as they're backing up. The little lights on the bottom, they get installed on the ICC bumper, and that's what it's there for.
So this is one of our lights. As you see, it's red, amber, white on the inside. It actually installs into the marker lights with our plug-and-play devices. We made it very easy that anybody can do it. The driver sees the light in his mirror while he's backing up.
Oh, wow.
And the red is what the public sees. So it gives the driver that visibility and shines also on the pathway while he's back into a dock door or a tight parking spot. We have been testing these for 2 years on our trailers, and we received nothing but very good feedback. Driver loved them.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then not just that, these lights, they are DOT friendly. So you're not going to get a violation for roadside inspection either, because these lights are considered auxiliary. So I don't know if you know this, my background is I am a certified safety director. Safety is my passion. My job is to protect trucking companies and protect drivers, and to, get away from those 1-800 lawyer numbers you see, all those crazy billboards on the highway. No, we are a team truck driver. We are a team trucking company. That's why we made these lights, and that is why we started Roadlights, to make drivers' lives simpler and easier, and they are DOT friendly. So even if you do have one out, that is still not a DOT violation for roadside inspection, because they're not lights that are required. They are auxiliary lights.
Please.
All right, take a look.
One more camera.
All right, one more time. That's it, yeah.
So
You can take your trailer through a flood, it's gonna survive. It's shock-proof, water-resistant. They're almost indestructible. We have had these on all of our trailers. We've had 0 go out, and they're LED lights, so they're basically gonna last, up to 10 years, depending how long you use them. A lot of our customers, they literally just install them, they forget about them. They don't forget about them, they see in the mirror, but they forget about them because you don't have to replace them, you don't have to repair them, and that's really it. So, we've got more lights. These are our coming soon lights. These are just a ton of different marker lights. We have the strobe lights that go in the back of trailers as well. Let's take a look. Yeah, we have also interior trailer lights. We've got these spotlights that one up there, that is this light right here. Yeah, it's this one right here. And this is all coming soon. And we're just really excited to bring this to the American market. So the marker lights that we have, they're actually mandatory in Europe. And we want to set that standard here for safety as well. And there's a reason why they're required there, because they help drivers see the width of their trailers. And it's funny because my friends that don't work in trucking, they don't know anything about trucking, right? So they always ask me, and they assume that every trailer has a backup camera, just like a car, right? You would think so. And I tell my friends, I'm like, no trailer comes with a backup camera. That's not a thing. And everyone thinks I'm crazy when I say that. And they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, listen, we have a trucking company. We buy brand new trailers. I'm positive they don't come with a backup camera, and drivers are just relying on their mirrors, and that's it. And I'm like, it's just outdated. Trailer lights, all of that is outdated. And I think the future of trucking is LED lights.
why are we interviewing them right now? What are your thoughts?
Okay, we're interviewing them right now because they are literally the American dream. So my friend Philip and Nick, they started a trucking company. They're young professionals. They started off as drivers. They have a trucking company, and now they have a repair shop that's called Nova Repair in the Chicago area. And they are the best at what they do. They're amazing at what they do, and we partnered with them, and they do the installs for our lights as well. So if you purchase our lights and you don't want to install them yourself, and you're in the Chicago area, they can do the installs for you. And not just that, but they also do box trucks, and they make sleepers for box trucks as well, which I've never seen. And they make custom sleepers, and this is Cody from Nova Repair.
That's awesome. So, what a lineup that was. So, is there anything that she missed, when it comes to truck drivers and their equipment and even box trucks, anything else, sir?
I think the thing that we really want to dig deep into is the customization of the box trucks. The sleeper that we build in the box truck, we're building one every single week. We probably have 150 of these things on the road right now. So we're building one every week, and we put a fridge, microwave, diesel heater, power inverter. everything the guy needs to go over the road in the box truck, and that's pretty much it.
So at the end, maybe we need to walk inside and check out what this looks like.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, so as you can see here, this bed, I'm not with them, but I'm just showing you. So this is setting up to be a bed. So with hydraulic button, you just put it, you can show it to the camera, you just go down or up. I don't know if the people can see it. Just go up and down, and then you can make a sofa, you can eat, this makes a table. We can set up a TV, fridge, microwave, everything here. So usually I know people who drive as a team, so like husband and wife driving here, and there is enough space. Usually there is no seat in this part because they put their stuff here.